It's hard to believe that the Nintendo Switch has been out for over 6 years, as this system came out back in March of 2017 and really changed the world with how successful it's been from all the games that it's gotten and outselling even Nintendo's most successful systems like the Wii. But no matter how good the era of a console is, there is always going to be a time where it's going to come to an end and we're going to have to move to the next generation. And it really does seem like right now, Nintendo is starting that transition, and we're really going to see the Nintendo Switch kind of wind down as we're going to get ready for the next system. And this isn't even really a lot of speculation. I feel like it's very easy to see this, that the Nintendo Switch is starting to enter into its twilight years, and that's what I really want to talk to you guys about in this video, because I feel like what Nintendo is doing is actually extremely similar to how they handled the Nintendo 3DS, and I find that really fascinating, so I do want to talk about it with you guys and give you guys my thoughts. So the Nintendo 3DS was a handheld system that was the successor to the Nintendo DS, which is Nintendo's most successful video game system of all time. And when the system came out, of course, like with every other new generation or new system that comes out, there were a lot of exclusive games that came out for the system, and I feel like these games really kind of show you how the system is doing, and this is really what's coming out during the system in its prime, and that happens for every video game system. So the Nintendo 3DS was really in its prime from its launch in 2011 up until I would say 2016. And around this time, since then, we were getting a lot of these exclusive games that were coming out for the Nintendo 3DS to convince people to go out and buy the system, and these were exclusives that you couldn't get on any other Nintendo system at the time, and that's why it was really getting a lot of people excited for the 3DS. So this included games like Super Mario 3D Land, Kid Icarus Uprising, Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS, Mario Kart 7, a sequel to Luigi's Mansion with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, a brand new generation of Pokemon in 3D with Pokemon X and Y, Animal Crossing New Leaf, New Super Mario Bros. 2, Fire Emblem Fates, and it really went up all the way until 2016, I would say, where we were still getting big games like Kirby Planet Robobot. However, it was really after 2016 where you started kind of noticing a dip in Nintendo 3DS games starting in 2017. And of course, this makes sense because guess what came out in 2017? That's right, Nintendo's next generation system, the Nintendo Switch, which was envisioned to basically merge together the 3DS and the home console market together. So of course, at the time, they weren't really focusing that much on the 3DS anymore, and most of Nintendo's development teams were starting to make games for the Switch. And so with that in mind, if you start to notice what types of games the Nintendo 3DS was getting in 2017, it really kind of gives you an idea for what exactly Nintendo was planning with that system. As in 2017 and even into 2018, you were getting games that were mostly kind of remakes and other games from older Nintendo systems that were being ported to the system. You started seeing games like Metroid Samus Returns, which came out in 2017, and that was of course a remake of an older game. We also had a Fire Emblem remake, which was called Fire Emblem Echoes: Shadows of Valentia, and Nintendo started bringing some older games to the 3DS, like Luigi's Mansion from the GameCube and Kirby's Epic Yarn from the Wii. In terms of new games, you weren't really getting a lot of insane stuff. You were getting things like Mario Sports Superstars, which came out for the 3DS in 2017, and WarioWare Gold, which came out in 2018. The reason why I'm talking about all of this is because I feel like it's very easy to see that Nintendo is starting to do the exact same thing now with the Nintendo Switch. And if anything, that last Nintendo Direct seemed to make it even more obvious that this is pretty much what they're planning, and the Nintendo Switch is starting to kind of wind down as they're getting ready for the next system. And for the Nintendo Switch, I really feel like it's been in its prime all the way from its launch in 2017 up until Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out earlier this year. And so just highlighting some of these brand new experiences and exclusive games that the Nintendo Switch was getting from 2017 up until now, some of these big games include games like Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Metroid Dread, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and of course, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And of course, there's so many other games that I didn't talk about here, like Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and you've got Splatoon 3 in there. Like, there's a lot of games that the Nintendo Switch got, so it's definitely had a ton of games in its library. But ever since that last Nintendo Direct, which just happened a few days ago, if we start to see what types of games are heading now to the Nintendo Switch and what we can expect going forward, we can definitely see that there is kind of a shift now in terms of what types of games are coming. And this is exactly like what was happening with the Nintendo 3DS when it was starting to wind down in 2017 and 2018. So just taking a look at what we have now coming to the Nintendo Switch, one of the biggest announcements was a Super Mario RPG remake, which is very similar to kind of how Metroid Samus Returns got a remake on the 3DS. It's basically a remake made from the ground up. It does look really pretty, but of course it is just a remake of an older game. It's not a sequel to Super Mario RPG, it's not like a brand new one or anything, it's just a remake of an older game. Like how Luigi's Mansion got ported to the 3DS and we got that GameCube game on the 3DS now, they're taking the 3DS game with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and porting that over to the Nintendo Switch, doing the exact same thing once again. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia was a Fire Emblem remake that happened around that time, and one of the biggest rumors that we have for the Nintendo Switch is that there's a Fire Emblem 4 remake of Genealogy of the Holy War, which has been done for a while, and Nintendo has basically been sitting on it and waiting for that to come out around sometime next year, so that's also one of the other biggest rumors that we're seeing, which is very similar to what happened with the 3DS. WarioWare got a new game for the 3DS in 2018, which was called WarioWare Gold, and guess what was announced in that last Nintendo Direct? That's right, a brand new WarioWare game coming to the Nintendo Switch called WarioWare Move It. And of course, there's still new games that are coming to the Nintendo Switch too. We do have Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is coming out later this year, and then they also teased that brand new Princess Peach game, but really all of these games now that they're starting to show us, even these brand new ones, are not starting to be like at that same level that we had these other big games that were coming out during the Nintendo Switch in its prime, right? Like Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks cool. Of course, I'm going to be picking it up and I'm sure it's going to be fun, but that game is not to like the same level as like Super Mario Odyssey or Smash Ultimate or like these big experiences that were made for the Nintendo Switch as like crazy exclusives to get people to go out and buy a Switch right away. And that's what I really feel like is starting to be very visible with these types of games that they're showing now for what we can expect to come to this system. And I just find this really fascinating to how identical it is with the Nintendo 3DS, as they're basically remaking games that a lot of people really enjoyed. They're porting over an old Luigi's Mansion game. A Fire Emblem remake is heavily rumored, just like how one came out for the 3DS during its end. And a brand new WarioWare game is coming out too, just like how WarioWare Gold came out for that system. So to me, it really seems like these are big indicators that the Nintendo Switch is starting to wind down and enter into its twilight years. And we're getting really close now to the next Nintendo system. And it does seem like all signs are kind of pointing towards a brand new Nintendo system coming out sometime in 2024. We don't know exactly when to expect it. Some people thinking it's going to be summer. Personally, my prediction is it's probably still going to be around like holiday time. So we're probably still going to see more of these like ports and remakes types of games coming out for like the first half and maybe even like the summer of next year. But around like November of next year, I think that is when we're going to start to see like Nintendo coming out with their brand new system. And that's when we can really expect like a big new type of game to come out again, because I really don't think that we're going to start to see any more of these types of games like Super Mario Odyssey or Smash Bros. Ultimate or these types of big like exclusive experiences coming out anymore for this current Nintendo Switch. And while this is a little sad because the Nintendo Switch has been such an important part of everybody's lives for the last couple of years, I do feel like it is time to start saying kind of goodbye and moving towards the next system. And you don't really have to worry that much because I'm sure that the next system is still going to allow you to be able to play all of your old Switch games on it too. So it's not like you're going to have to say goodbye to all of these old Switch games that you love so much. We're just kind of getting ready to move to the next system so that we can start a whole new generation of other big exclusive games coming out for that. And I think it'll be so much fun now when we can expect like another huge big 3D Mario game to come out for that, another brand new Splatoon game, another big Smash Bros game. Like I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A new Mario Kart game that's been so long overdue. So I feel like it's that type of stuff now that I'm really excited to see when that new system arrives. But yeah, until then, I'm not really expecting any more kind of really cool experiences and exclusives coming out anymore for the Nintendo Switch, and I feel like we're just gonna have to wait until that next system is revealed very soon. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well, as I am going to be making more Nintendo videos very soon. But also let me know how you guys feel about this down below in the comments as well. Do you guys think that the Nintendo Switch is also starting to wind down? Do you guys kind of start to see the similarities now with the 3DS when it was getting close to the end of its life too? I just find this stuff really interesting, so definitely let me know how you guys feel about this as well. Go follow me on Twitter at actual Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.